like the sun returned today and it's heating up as well. And what did I read today? How about this one? Apparently there was a successful drone flight, according to this anyways, between Residential Care Center and General Hospital. What's going on here, huh? This flight conducted between the visual line of sight of the pilot marks a significant milestone in the Tetra project, medical drone supplies led by VIVE's University of Applied Sciences. The MEDROS project aims not only to explore but also to implement the possibilities of drone technology for transporting medical goods within the Flemish healthcare sector, as well to integrate it into the entire healthcare logistics chain. This flight provided concrete evidence that the rapid and efficient exchange of medical samples is possible through drones. Additionally, project partner KU Leuven is conducting a comparison between the quality of blood samples transported by drone and those transported by road. What would be the biggest difference between that in terms of, I guess, flying it with a drone or transporting, as they say, between roads? Would the blood potentially be more pure, for example, like less bumpy road tracks and all that? I always find it interesting looking at the hardware too, if that is it anyways. And it says the drone flight partially took place within the geozone of Kodrij Welvingen Airport, where strict safety regulations apply to drone flights. This test is unique. It is the first time that a drone has flown beyond the pilot's line of sight in this geozone without the need to interrupt other air traffic. I would imagine it would be okay in general depending on the path they're choosing, correct? And it says the safety of the operation was ensured by using Skadrone's BVLOS framework, which is based on a range of advanced digital services guaranteeing the safety of everyone in the air and on the ground. The flight was conducted by ADLC, a Belgian startup experienced in the transport of petrochemical samples within the port of Antwerp. The drone was operated fully automatically throughout the flight with real-time remote monitoring from ADLC's operations control room. So that's a good thing overall in my opinion anyways, because I don't see the reason why you wouldn't do this if it's more efficient in every single way. And with that thought, it seems like health-related topics were the main theme today in general. How about this one here actually? Would you take a pill made of poop, literally, in order to deal with things like mental health? This one here says Poo Power. Calgary study explores link between gut bacteria, fecal supplements, and mental health. Could the answer to overcoming serious depression be found in a pill made from poop? A research team from the University of Calgary's Cummings School of Medicine is launching a study to investigate the potential link between gut bacteria and depression and whether downing a supplement of fecal matter could help with treatment. Saying, quote, "We are tapping into the gut-brain axis and power of the microbiome as a way to improve life and unlock new treatment options for individuals struggling with a variety of psychiatric conditions," said Dr. Valerie Taylor, a member of the Hotchkiss Bryan Institute in CSM. The study will explore the use of fecal microbiota transplantation as a treatment for major depressive disorder. So yeah, you can see on that site, for example, they're basically looking for people to participate in this study. And as they mentioned, a big ingredient of this is literally poop, and they put it in a pill form, and I guess whatever, people swallow it, and apparently it's supposed to help with things like depression and all that. I don't know, would you actually try this, for example, if you were going through a really bad time in life just for the sake of seeing if it works and so forth? Because according to this, they say they see positive results, but it's kind of odd in general, huh? And again, with the topic of health, is it going to be another lockdown, as this was everywhere today? This one says, "WHO declares Mpox outbreaks in Africa a global health emergency as a new form of the virus spreads." This was actually spreading around in terms of this type of news before, but it seemed like it just kind of disappeared. It says the World Health Organization declared the Mpox outbreaks in Congo and elsewhere in Africa a global emergency on Wednesday. The cases confirmed among children and adults in more than a dozen countries and a new form of the virus spreading. Few vaccine doses are available on the continent. Earlier this week, the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that the Mpox outbreaks were a public health emergency with more than 500 deaths and called for international help to stop the virus's spread. This is something that should concern us all. The potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying, said WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. The Africa CDC previously said Mpox, also known as monkeypox, has been detected in 13 countries earlier this year, and more than 96% of all cases and deaths are in Congo. Cases are up 160% and deaths are up 19% compared to the same period last year. So far, there have been more than 14,000 cases and 524 people have died. Now, will people actually take this seriously, for example? I remember before with this story, they were saying it was kind of like an STD of sort, where it was people having sex, for example, that contracted this. That's what they said anyways. Because it even says, as the article goes on, they talk about things like vaccines and all that, and they mention specific groups of people, for example, sex workers, children, and adults living in outbreak regions. So it's kind of interesting how they specifically mention sex workers. So what would you think? Are they going to shut everything down? And I guess at the same time, are people actually going to follow, I guess, these guidance? Because based on last time, it just seems like we got a lot of things wrong. So I don't know if people would be cooperative overall anyways. And then I quickly saw this that was spreading around, where there was all these what it seemed like military equipment being showed off in Afghanistan. And just from reading this, it had to do with how before the US, I guess, they exited the region and then it got taken over by the Taliban so quickly, and they left all their equipment, like billions of dollars worth. Like this says, the Taliban showcased American military equipment left behind after the US withdrawal from Afghanistan in a military parade. Wow, can you imagine this? How do people in the US feel about seeing stuff like this? Billions of dollars of their military equipment, I guess, just left behind, and now they're just kind of showing it off and all that. I don't know how anyone could, I guess, take that lightly overall in terms of whatever decision was made for this to happen, huh? All right, see you guys later.